Come in. No, hello.
Hello,
My name's
sir.
Jim.
My name's Steve.
District Manager of L Mart. Please have a seat.
Thanks, sir.
Do you have any trouble getting here today?
I did not. I'm relatively close to where I live, so pretty easy to find it.
Okay, good to hear. We definitely like people from the local neighborhood. Try to help out the local neighborhood as much as possible. How's your day so far?
Not that bad. I got the kids out to school. I enjoyed a coffee, and I actually made it in time for the interview. How about yours, Steve?
Just go through resumes, try to find a very good candidate to fill our managerial spot. And, if you wouldn't mind, let's start with your resume.
Yes, sir.
All right. It says here you have you've had a very long job history in the Air Force. We're looking at 12 years. What did you do in the Air Force?
I was an instruments and flight controls craftsman.
Okay.
I dealt with primarily the B-1B aircraft.
Okay.
I dealt with all indication of flight controls, as well as later on in my career I became the NCOIC of my section, which is non-commissioned officer in charge.
Okay.
So I had several people underneath me, and they had people underneath them, but I supervised and orchestrated the entire section.
Oh, that's good to hear.
As a whole.
It's exactly kind of the person we're looking for, somebody who can run multiple levels of responsibility. I see after 12 years you ended up leaving. May I ask why?
The reason I left was that because of the deployment cycle, I rarely got to see my family, and me and my wife spoke about it during my last rotation. She felt that it was a time for a change, and I agreed. So I didn't re-enlist, and so I'm here now.
Well, no problem. Yeah, I could definitely see being away from your family for that long. Definitely multiple deployments. What skills would you say, even though we don't have airplanes per se to work on, what skills would you say that you got out of the military that would be transferable to this job as a manager?
Leadership and followership. I know when it's time to take charge, of course, and I know how to delegate responsibilities and trust but verify that they're done properly and promptly. But I also am not the type of person that can't take criticism or can't take a suggestion from those underneath me. And if someone knows something more than I do about a topic, then I'll be more willing to listen to them and take cues off of them.
Well, that's good. Sometimes people will come in, not know much about the job, and will automatically just start arguing with people who have been here longer than them but are in a lesser position. So it's good to hear that you can listen both ways. What from the job offering are you most interested in? Is it salary? Is it the benefits?
I'd say benefits because again, I'm married and I have a wife and 3 children, and looking for good health care, dental care. It's hard to do, especially in these times, in this economy. But you guys seem to have a relatively decent wage and benefits package.
We definitely try to offer. We try to help all of our employees out. This is a question, you don't have to answer it, or you do, but is there something in a store you've seen before that you dislike? Is there a process you've seen that you think you could fix?
Not necessarily a process. I see sometimes when I come in, your younger customers, or employees I should say, and customers, they linger in the entrance area, smoking. Be it designated an actual smoking pit, or even perhaps a break area for employees and put a no loitering sign out in the front. It would open the entrance up a little bit more so more people would not feel as threatened through vagrants.
Yeah, we have worked in the past to get some of the younger kids out of the front store. We've seen it as a problem before, and the police have come just to shoo them away. Nobody's ever been arrested. We don't wish to have anybody arrested just for being around.
They're kids.
They're kids. We try to make it family friendly, but if it tends to get somewhere where people might not feel safe or
uncomfortable,
yeah. It says here on your resume that you have worked very well with Microsoft Office. You've become pretty proficient in it. What types of programs for Microsoft Office have you used? Have you used Excel before?
I have used Excel. I've used Word extensively. Being the NCOIC section chief of the specialist section, I had to do several EPRs, which are enlisted performance evaluations. And so that's a yearly thing, but for that as well, we have our initial and midterm feedbacks, and they're all based off of Word. And for Excel, as the NCOIC, I always had to deal with training regiments, I had to deal with leave requests, scheduling for work, scheduling for deployments. It became well versed.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Sometimes, you know, we get kids in and they're using all their tablets and everything else, and they don't know how to create a spreadsheet, or I mean, even use something as simple as PowerPoint. So that's good to hear. Where would you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, if the opportunity arose through this company, through L Mart, that there was a regional or district managerial position to open up that maybe I could fill just from being outside of the store.
Okay. We do actually have quite a few openings up. It's generally a hire within company process, but so far everything I see is pretty clean over, and I think you'll do pretty good for us. But I can't just say you're hired right away. It's got to go to the next boss. I look forward to calling you whether or not you get the job. You're definitely an interesting person, and I hope to see you get hired here. Of course, it's got to go to regional at this point. And no matter what, we will let you know what happened. We don't want to leave you hanging. And I know some companies don't call you back, but we try to be an open, friendly company. So this is the end of the interview, and I'd like to thank you for your time. And hopefully, in about 2 weeks, you should receive a call no matter what happens, and I will hopefully see your face in here. All right.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.